Aloha, aloha, gang, and welcome to the Local My Life. One of the greatest things about doing coverage for missing people is when you find someone is found safe, or in a case like this, when you find a child and you report on a child who did not have a name and he gets a name. Woke up today. Sorry, I got someone behind me barking because they want to play with their big sister. Um, when I woke up this morning, it was to the news that a little boy who was found in a suitcase back last April had been identified, and one person had been arrested, and his mother was on the run, and they were looking for her. So a lot of us have been following up on this case today. This is a case that really touched a lot of us because no little one should ever not have a name. Okay, everyone deserves that chance to be buried in a place where family can come and visit and that has a headstone with their name on it. And that happened today. So what I wanted to do was pull all of us together. I know a lot of us have been watching earlier today. Burden of Proof was going through the arrest affidavit. A lot of people are going to be talking about this in the next couple days. I wanted to kind of go back and remember those first few days when this little kiddo, whose name is actually Cairo Ammar Jordan, went missing. And how all of us were out there looking for him, trying to spread the word, trying to make sure no one knew. Okay, everyone knew that this little guy was out there and needed his family to step up and let everyone know they were missing him because everyone should be missed. And so if I could have all you guys pull up real quickly, we'll let YouTube get all of its notifications out, and then we'll start the rundown. Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life. So, first of all, I got a lot of peeps in chat that I wanted to say hi to. First of all, Gladys is here. Hello, 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 Gladys. And, of course, Wrigley starts. Wrigley, come over here, baby. I'll put you in the stroller. And for those of you who might not know, I have a dog in heat. Little Cassie is in heat. And the little boy wants to have fun with his, it's not working. So I'm keeping them separated, even though I have one in a diaper and the other in a belly band. Yeah, Cassie's getting tired of it, but that's what's happening. So hello, though, Gladys. How you doing? Let me turn on some AC because I am getting hot. Yes, it's still hot in Hawaii. I do have AC year round. But it is getting hot in this room. Savage says, how you doing, my dear? Hello, hello, hello. And Kelly, I saw you in another live. I was able to peek into another live, to Lycan's live, actually, for about 10 minutes before I had to head out for our panel discussion over on PJ's channel earlier. And who is also someone I have to say hi. Hi, PJ. We had an amazing gang. Please go over to PJ's channel. Gliding the Way Home for the Vanished. We talked today about Haley Cummings, one of the two Haley Cummings. We had her mother in chat helping explain, answer questions, help share her emotions with us. So please head on over there. PJ, if you want to share the link, please go for and do that because it was a really, really great live. Siren, how are you doing? Yes, I hear you do have a premiere going on later. Hopefully we'll be done with this one by then. I'm crossing my fingers. And we're getting to the point where so many of us go live. It's so hard to find times nowadays. Other than that, let's see. Kelly, hello, Miss Kelly. And also, okay, I think that's where we are right now. So first of all, I would like to thank Burden for sharing with me the arrest affidavit. I know it's going all over the place. You can find it anywhere on Facebook now, pretty much. All sorts of stuff, but she really came through when I needed a copy of it real quickly as I was trying to decide when to talk about the case. And I just want to thank her. That's what we talk about in this community. We're all here for each other, to help each other. Okay, try to help us get the word out about people who need their story told. Okay, true crime Karen's also. I mean, we've been talking back and forth today about this case also. And also, hello, Gladys. And also, let's bring, you had to step away. Is that it? I know I almost did not make it on, well, I didn't make on, I was a couple minutes late because I realized I had not printed out the arrest affidavit. I have it on camera for you guys, but it's a little hard to read that way, so I needed a printout. So let's start this out here. This is, first of all, the greatest thing I ever get to do. I love this when I get to take one of these thumbnail posters and update them. I'm right now going through every single person I've ever covered on this channel, and I am double checking and updating every single case right now so that if someone has been found, this is updated so everyone knows. This was the greatest. In fact, I always was like, oh, how am I going to update his? Because I knew he was going to get his name. I knew we would find out who he was someday. But it was a different type of thing because he didn't have a name. At the time that I did my live, there was no pictures or anything. Okay, when all of these people who did, Burden talked, Sleuth Mom talked, PJ, I can't remember if you talked also, but a lot of people were covering him, and all we had were bits and pieces of the story. And we needed to be able to share all that out. So this poster, I was finally able to put a picture of a cute, oh my God, such an adorable little 5-year-old boy who lived with his mom, whose dad did not know he had passed away. A little guy by the name of Cairo Ammar Jordan. Cairo Ammar Jordan. And he is right now, they have arrested one of the people that they feel is responsible for his death, and the other one, being his mother, is we're all looking for. And we were just talking about this on panel. We're going to find him, her. We're going to find her. Her picture's everywhere. Okay, this picture is everywhere. They are going to find this lady. And so for those of you who may not remember much about this story started back on April 16th, 2022. Okay, so we're talking months now. During, a day, there was this one person, Jeff Meredith. He was a mushroom hunter. He would go out into the woods on his days off, weekends, all that, and he'd search for mushrooms. It was something that he just enjoyed doing. Well, one time while he was out there, hey, Bird, and hey, Princess Megan, hey. This one time while he was out there, all of a sudden, about 80 feet or so from the main road, he saw a suitcase. You guys can see the suitcase there. It was one of those, if you've ever been to Las Vegas, you can see these suitcases sold everywhere. I mean, everywhere. The suitcase was sitting there in the middle of the woods, about 80 feet away from the roadway. He walked up to it, and he was like, ooh, I better call the cops on this. That looks weird. And there was just a part in his head saying, why am I calling the cops? It could be just a freaking suitcase sitting out there. So hoping against all hopes, he was like, I need to check inside it, just make sure before wasting the police time. And so he went and opened up the suitcase and immediately realized it was the body of someone in bags. There was a big bag in there with a body in it. All that stuffed into the suitcase. And this is something that has upset him. I don't blame him how badly that would upset anyone. He had grandchildren the same age as this little guy. Cairo was the same age as some of this guy's grandchildren. And he kept thinking, oh my God, how could this happen? So he calls up the police. Police came out. And they put the word out that they had oh, Gladys, I don't know if I could ever get over that type of trauma either. Cassie, come over here. Come here, baby girl. Here, let me get her a treat. Maybe that'll keep her busy. And yeah, just knowing that what you saw and all that trauma has to be something I don't think any one of us ever want to be part of. They took once they had Cairo's body, they put the word out that they had this little, between, if I recall, they were saying 5 and 8 years old, or 4 and 8 years old, African-American boy, slight build. They kind of described everything that they could with that, and they were trying to find out if anyone knows of a child of this age that's missing, please report it back to us. And because this is what gets me. There was no missing children matching this description. How the hell does a child go missing and people don't report them? That's what we were saying that whole time. What the heck? Someone's missing a child and they don't realize it? Well, there are things that can happen. We've all seen cases, okay? During COVID time, after COVID time, people have issues with relationships, okay, custody, things like that. But that was the first thing in all of our minds is what? No one's taking responsibility for this child. And so they kept trying to get the word out. They did do an autopsy. And I think all of us, I remember, in fact, I think it was Sleuth I was talking to when the autopsy came out, and all of us were expecting to see overt something bad happened. Okay. We were expecting strangulation. Okay. Gunshot. Okay. Something. It had to be something for a child in a suitcase like this. It's got to be something like that. And it wasn't. When the word came out, it was reported that he had died due to, quote unquote, electrolyte imbalance, most likely attributed to a viral gastroenteritis. Long term to say that he died due to vomiting and diarrhea leading to dehydration. And we were like, why would anyone hide this? Why would they didn't get help for the child, maybe? Guilt from that, I don't know. But, let's play these games. We want to fill in the blanks. None of us like an open book without a real ending. We want to know what happened to this little, especially someone at this age. It got to us. So that's where we left it. We were all looking. A lot of us kept saying over and over the following months and stuff, why aren't they sharing more information about this case? Okay, what's going on? Why aren't they all these? It just seemed like everything just stopped. Other than the fact that, yes, they were doing things such as having a funeral for the little guy. Okay, they had this little headstone put together where they were able to do a funeral for him and give him a place where people, even though no one knew his name, they could sit with him. That's something very important here in Hawaii. When you lose someone that you love, you sit with them at their graveside. You bring a couple beers and you put a beer out for your loved one if they're of age, and you have a beer at the same time. That's what we do. And people were able to do this. They just didn't have his name. And so it continued for a while. Well, what we've started realizing since then is they never stopped. They never stopped. We're going to go through the actual arrest affidavit. And but basically everything came down to this. They found a couple of fingerprints on the trash bags. 2 specific different fingerprints. Okay, one was found on June 29th, belonging to his mother, okay, who turned out to be his mother, and one found on July 25th, belonging to another woman. And so at that point, they went into overdrive. Let's build a case. It's not about telling the public right now. It's about building a case so we can get this person arrested, convicted, and yes, there is justice for Cairo. And that's where we are now. We are going to continue, all of us as a community, ensuring that this lady gets arrested and Cairo gets justice. And so how everything started to really break was yesterday. Okay. A message went out via Facebook from Vincent C. Jordan. Vincent was Cairo's father. Vincent wrote, "Today my heart was broken into a million pieces. I got a call from an officer telling me that my 5-year-old son, Cairo Jordan, who ironically turned 6 today," this was 2 days ago on his birthday, October 24th, or 25th, yesterday, his birthday, and they are just now notifying me about his death. Me and my family have spent the past 3 years looking for Dewan or Dejan, I'm not sure exactly, and Cairo. She took him away at the beginning of our custody battle back in 2017. She threatened to call the police on me for coming to pick him up on an agreed weekend. She never showed up in court, and it's killing me because that weekend is the last time I seen my baby boy. I swear y'all don't know the pain. As a father, I feel defeated. This was the only thing I feared on this earth. This sick bitch smothered my son, put his body in a suitcase, and threw him on the side of the road like fucking trash outside of Salem, Indiana. The unidentified little boy who was found in a suitcase is my son, Cairo Jordan. His story has been on CNN and other news platforms for the past 6 months. And the whole time, it's my child. OMFG. Boy, when I tell you I'm sick to my stomach, everyone knows how I am about my kids and never thought I would have gotten that call today. This is a parent's worst nightmare. Choose your mate wisely, y'all. It's deeper than just a baby mama, baby daddy drama. Rest in heaven, Cairo. I love you, son. That's how things started being known, what was going on. The picture to the right there is Vincent's newest profile picture. It's him and his little boy. Okay, probably one of the last times he ever saw his little boy. This would be any parent's nightmare. Now, I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, okay? I mean, for him to be missing for this amount of time, was he ever reported? Okay, because they were looking for him all this time. Did anyone ever report him missing? Or did they just think, well, can't do anything about it? Okay, there's a lot of ifs, ands, buts right now. The one thing we do know for sure, though, is that this little boy's mom was sick. As we go through the affidavit, you're going to start recognizing she thought her little boy had a full-grown demon inside his body. She had no right to be with a child that she did not want and was always having issues with because she saw demons. So exactly, PJ, it could truly be, we don't know the whole case. And trust me, don't get me wrong. I do have questions, but right now is not the time for those questions. Right now is let's get this lady behind bars where she needs to be. The family can deal with everything else. Police can deal with anything else. Right now, we need to get this lady caught. So these are the two people you're going to find out are responsible for this little guy losing his identity and being known as the Suitcase Boy for months and months. Okay. The one on the left is his mother. Okay. The one or Dejan. Anderson. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, gang. Sorry. And the one on the right, Dawn Coleman, is someone else. From what I understand, she is not tied to the family, but there's some sort of relationship there. Okay, friendship, whatever you want to call it. Now, she has been arrested. She has been arrested on October 19th. She was arrested. Okay, who we're looking for now is the one in yellow. We are looking for Mom. Okay, now how did police pull all this together? Okay, this is when we start going through and started getting more and more information thanks to the affidavit for probable cause, okay, and arrest. So I'm going to go through this. I have it there. I know it's very hard for you guys to read. That's why I had to print it out myself. And I try to put up pictures and all that. But for those of you who later can blow them up, if anyone wants a copy, you can please contact me. I have no problem sharing them out to anyone who would like a copy. So going through this, and I'm going to try to keep an eye on chat. So if you guys have questions or thoughts coming up, okay, just stop me and then we can discuss these ideas, okay, and find out exactly what is going on in this case. I will be honest, I have heard all of this stuff, but I really, because it's been such a busy day, I haven't really gotten time to analyze a lot of it yet. So probable cause affidavit for arrest. Indiana State Police Detective Matt Busick affirms that he believes and has good cause to believe on the below date in the county of Washington, in the state of Indiana, Dawn Elaine Coleman committed the offenses of 1, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, a level 1 felony, and 2, an obstruction of justice, a level 6 felony. So we have 2 felonies going on in this case. Okay. My belief is based on the facts, okay, as set forth. On April 16th, Detective Matt Busick was assigned to lead a death investigation in the Pekin area of Washington County, Indiana. On the evening of Saturday, April 16th, Jeffrey Meredith called 911 and reported finding the body of a young black male in a suitcase in the woods off Holder Road in southeastern Washington County. Now, before I go on here, let me pull that map up again real quick. Gives you an idea of where in Indiana we're talking the, southeast area, okay, for location purposes. Okay. Let's see. Anne had crossed over to the property that runs along the north side of Holder Road. Holder Road is a dead-end road. However, the road is not marked as a dead end. Okay. So when they dropped him off, they dropped him, U-turned, and left. When Meredith saw the suitcase, which was not covered and could be viewed from the roadway, he approached and opened it. Inside, he located a pillow on a closed black trash bag. He ripped open the trash bag and found what he described as being a young black male child. So that's where we're starting to look, okay? Pillow, sorry, dogs just went ballistic. And black pillow, trash bag, he opens it up and finds, okay, Cairo's remains. Washington County Deputy Matt Hain was the first to arrive at the scene and approached and manipulated the suitcase and trash bag to confirm that it contained the body of a young black child. I arrived on scene at approximately 9:40 p.m., so most likely April. I'm thinking you're getting pretty dark by then, and was briefed by Sergeant David Mitchell and was walked around to the east side of the scene to view the suitcase. I then spoke with a resident who lives on Holder Road. His residence is covered by video security with one camera focused on the end of his driveway, which also captures a portion of Holder Road below his home closer to the area where the suitcase was discovered. He voluntarily gave the whole hard drive and all. So to start with, it looks like we do have, okay, video evidence. Come on, Cassie, come here. No. After the scene was photographed, the suitcase was closed and placed in a bag supplied by the Washington County coroner. The bag was secured and transported to the Washington County coroner's office at approximately 12:10 in the morning on April 17th. Okay, on April 19th. So now we've gone on to 2 days later. Okay, on April 19th, an autopsy was conducted of the unidentified male child. Sorry, let me get her and have her sit in the stroller. There we go. See, strollers work wonderful with this pup. On April 19th, Indiana State Police lab analysts transported the black trash bags located within the suitcase to the police lab for fingerprint testing and analysis. Now, after that, we've gone on to June 29th. So on June 29th, he was contacted by Mallory Webb, Indiana State Police forensic scientist, who stated she had obtained a fingerprint match from 2 of the trash bags located in the suitcase. So we're starting to get more information. This is, guys, all I can think of whenever I read things like this is if these fingerprints had not been there, they may never have solved this murder. Okay, them using their hands doing this was that little act of God that brought this little boy home to his family. And the match came back to Dewan Ludi Anderson, Georgia driver's license and address. And we have address, date of birth, all that right here. On July 25th, okay, about a month later, I was contacted by Mallory Webb again, who stated she obtained a second fingerprint match from the black trash bag located in the suitcase. This match came back to Dawn Elaine Coleman, Louisiana, license plates, all that. So these 2 people. So the first one that came back was for Coleman on the right, of mom on the left, and the second one was for the lady on the right. After receiving confirmation of the first fingerprint match on June 29th, I began to investigate Anderson. It was discovered that Anderson is the owner of Ashley Logistics Corporation with a listed business address of 1445 Woodmont Lane, Atlanta, Georgia. The Georgia Corporations Division lists the registered agent for Ashley Logistics as Anderson, with the physical address and all that. This is what gets interesting. She's listed as the CEO and registered agent. However, the secretary for the business is Cairo. A 5-year-old is being listed as the secretary for this woman's business, which just to me throws my mind, makes no sense whatsoever why she would ever do this. I don't know much about the company at this point. It'd be interesting to look into. On March 12th, Anderson was arrested by the South Carolina Highway Patrol. So this was about a month, okay, actually 5 weeks before, okay, Cairo was found dead. Okay, she was arrested by the South Carolina Highway Patrol. She was charged with child endangerment at the time, speeding over 25 miles per hour, and failure to stop for blue lights. Okay, child endangerment. Anyone who's ever gotten a speeding ticket with your child in the car, do they normally give you a child endangerment thing? No. Why? Well, here we go. South Carolina Highway Patrol attempted to stop Anderson for driving 92 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. Anderson did not stop and proceeded to lead troopers on a pursuit lasting approximately 30 miles before she finally ran out of gas. Anderson was driving a 2019 Dodge Challenger bearing Georgia plate C SH7991 returning to her business. In the vehicle, Anderson was with the other woman. So they were already together. Anderson and Coleman were already friends, hanging out together, whatever it was, 5 weeks before. So there's definitely a connection going on with these two. And a child that Anderson stated was her 5-year-old son by the name of Redacted and gave his birth as, Redacted. Anderson said at this time that Coleman was her sister. We now know they are not family, at least from what I've found online so far. And before going on this, I did want to share these pictures I found of her with Cairo and that were shared. Guys, you can look at some people and they look so, you don't see what they have the potential to be inside. That's why we talk to each other and say, don't make judgments based off of what you just see. Okay, you got to look at behaviors and things like this. Because here you've got a mom who's sitting there nice and sweet with her son, who she later on stuffs in a suitcase and leaves on the side of a road in the middle of the woods. So these two are supposed to be siblings, I guess. When the vehicle came to a stop, neither Anderson nor Coleman listened to commands and would not open their doors. Troopers had to breach the back driver's side window to make entry to the vehicle. So we're starting to see why she was put in endangerment of her child. Okay. You got your kid in the back seat, and if you're having to go to the step of, oh, well, I'm not opening up my door and allowing the police to have to break open the back door where your child is sitting, that's endangerment. Definitely. You definitely don't seem to be showing much care for your child's safety behind you. Okay. Coleman was transported with the child to a Hilton hotel and given information on how to contact Anderson, who was transported to the county jail. So mom did go to jail. Supposed sister takes the baby and stays at a Hilton hotel. On March 31st, so now we're about 2 weeks before he passes away. Well, he's thrown away, for lack of a better word. On March 31st, Anderson was arrested by the Louisville Metro Police Department for robbery. So now we've got a second issue, second run-in with the police. She was arrested for robbery, second degree, outside of Ammar at the Oxmoor Mall located in Louisville, Jefferson County, Kentucky. So they're definitely doing a lot of traveling around. The report states that during this incident, Anderson was stopped by mall security when she exited the store due to loss prevention, witnessing her concealing clothing items in her bag. When stopped, she became violent and punched the security officer in the face. So definite issues with her. While in custody at the jail, Anderson made 2 calls to a woman who is believed to be Dawn Coleman. Hey, Robbie, love you, my dear. Mwah, love ya. Okay, so she's in jail. She makes 2 phone calls to this lady who she says is her sibling or sister. Okay. Coleman told Anderson, we are okay and we will be staying at her cousin's by the name of Vera. So why is this important, gang? Well, what we're dealing with here, mom's in jail. She calls this lady again, who has definitely been with them for the last 3 weeks or something like that. Okay, who is now taking care of little Cairo. And they're saying they're staying at a cousin's house by the name of Vera. All this, I suspect, was recorded on jail phones. And in the course of this investigation, I obtained search warrants for Facebook accounts utilized by both of them. Okay, on or about December 5th, 2021, so months earlier, Anderson, so mom, sent the following message on her Facebook account called the Sony Michelle with the vanity name Katu Katu. Okay, and in that Facebook account message, she said, "My son is blank," and gave the name of blank is the name of Cairo. Okay, so they're able to start connecting all this stuff there. Siren, sorry so much that I've got this going, but I'll go check you on the replay, my dear, for sure. Love you, my dear. And guys, when I'm done, please go check out Siren. He does some funny drama scenes. And drama has nothing to do with drama in these cases. It's actually funny stuff. And so on or about the same day, she sent the following, another set of messages on that same account with the same name, saying, quote, "I offer," new line, "reversal spell," new line, "protection spell," new line, "activating your DNA," "exorcism," "hex," "curse." So we're now starting to get what has thrown me for a loop in this whole discussion. She is definitely into some sort of, whether it be witchcraft, everyone's starting to try to talk about, is it witchcraft? Is it, okay, what? Wiccan, what? Okay, she's talking about reversal spells, protection spells, activating your DNA. Okay, exorcism. All of these become very important as related to Cairo, okay, in these next couple bits. And then hex and curse. On or about January 5th, so about a month after those text messages, she makes the following post on her Facebook account, which goes by the name Ankh.Bella.7 with the vanity name Ankh-Kek. And it says, quote, "I'm using my blood for this ritual." She's got something going on. She is doing some sort of ritual, potentially reversal spell, protection spell, exorcism, curse, and now she's using her own blood for it. Okay. 6 weeks later, February 19th, she makes another post, another update to her Facebook account, same account and all, saying, "Can't wait to tell my story. I had to raise my frequency, heal myself and past lives, heal my ancestors, heal shit in the universe, heal Gaia, to exorcism a very powerful demonic force from within my son. Had people in enough alignment with their soul to assist me. Still, I chose my soul and was able to completely heal myself and remove old paradigms from my mind. I know you can choose your soul with no questions asked." So for the first time ever, we're realizing that she feels there is a demon inside her 5-year-old boy. And it is her job to clear him of that demon, to exorcise that demon. First time we're starting to look at that and recognize it. See you, Siren. Love you, my dear. And I will catch it, I promise. On or about March 15th, okay, so now we're at about 1 month before his being thrown on the roadside, she made the following post on the same Facebook group, or Facebook page. Quote, "Stop getting caught up in the vessels of this realm. You guys get caught up with how old the body is. If they adults or kids, don't even know it's a full-grown demon in the child body telling you what to do because you didn't choose your soul. Better start using your third eye." Hey, Caitlin, welcome, my dear. Now we're getting the full picture here. Her child has a demon in it, according to her. People, sounds to me like people are trying to say, hey, hold on a second. Okay, this is a 5-year-old child and stuff, and she's getting into this thing. You don't know the difference between, doesn't matter if you're an adult or a child or stuff like this. Okay, she's totally gone down this side that her child is possessed. On or about 3 days later, she makes another post on Facebook saying, "You have to use your magic for everything. We have transitioned to living in the now. If you still have trauma that is unhealed, you are creating resistance for us that are healed. Fuck with your frequency. Stop this low vibrational movement." Okay. Gang, I'm one of the first people who believe, okay, in energy, things like, okay, I like my crystals. I got my crystals sitting here. People can use anything, okay, to make anything sound true that they want. This lady has gotten so deep into this idea of something going on that she ends up putting her child's life in danger. On or about the same day, yeah, PJ, you only hear this stuff in scary movies, gang. This truly starts to sound Daybellish to me. You guys remember the Daybell case? That's what this is starting to sound like to me. Okay, it truly gets that feeling from me at this point. On the same day, she makes another set of posts saying, "Can't wait to tell this story about that exorcism, a book about living with a demonic child, and a podcast." She's seriously talking about this idea she has that my child is possessed by a demon, a full-grown demon, and I can't wait to make sure everyone knows about this story. I'm going to write a book about what it's like to live with a demonic child. I'm going to make a podcast. She's sitting here creating this whole thing, which is probably feeding into everything. Exactly, PJ. I use crystals, but okay, this is going extreme. This is using whatever you can grab. Anything can be made negative in the world. Anything can be made negative based off of how you use it. And she definitely used this in a very evil, negative way. And I'm going to say the word evil because that is exactly what it turned out to be. On or about April 4th, so we're now to about 2 weeks or so before he's found, Dawn Coleman, so this is the friend, the supposed sister, made the following post on her Facebook. Okay, so different Facebook, but the same one she was using before. Don't let the avatars fool you. There is a face under it. You need to see some have souls, some do not. Evil and wicked is hiding in plain sight. Must keep rising, AKMJ. Not sure what AKMJ is, but these two are definitely dealing with this together. They both are believing it. They're totally positive of this whole demonic possession type thing and how it plays in with this little 5-year-old boy. Rather than just saying, you know what, there's something up with this boy, let me put him up for adoption or send him back to his dad or something like that. They are taking these other steps. About 4 days later, Mom, again, made a new post to Facebook. See, guys, none of us realized all this was going on. This is why when people tell me all the time, well, we don't know law enforcement's doing anything. I think they're just sitting on their butt doing nothing. Guys, none of us knew this was happening. But it was important they kept this quiet until they could pull this stuff together. Otherwise, I guarantee you, we would be looking for 2 women right now, not just one. And that's what's so important with this whole thing, is that we are looking at everything, and they did an amazing job from what I see. So during this time, her friend made another comment on the 8th, 4 days later, saying, yeah, see, and that's it, Caitlin, what you just said. I like a lot of what she says, but OMG, if you think your baby is possessed, give him to someone else. Exactly. It's nothing, you know what? Energy, vibrations, things like that, you know what? They're actually based in science, too. You can actually pull out. I can pull out one of my crystals here, and they can pull that up and they can see the energy, okay, under certain types of experiments. They can see it there. So there's things to it, but it's what you use it for in the end, how you use the information. That's how it is with a lot of things in life. It's how you use the information. So her message then goes, just because the avatar is of what we call a child, so she's saying just because the avatar, this is my avatar, okay, who I come across as the body, just because the body is what we call a child does not mean that it is actually a child. There are beings that are here that are not supposed to be here, which pick avatars, bodies, to hide behind, to play roles, to steal energy, and to ruin lives. You better check to see if the children that you think are children actually have souls, or if they're real malevolent beings with a soul and in a child avatar. Magic is real, curses are real, and there are some very powerful evil beings there that will curse your womb and then some. Nothing is what it seems, and we are catering to evil beings and children avatars, bodies that aren't even children. Y'all need to rise. Most will be wiped out because of your demons, and this paradigm has no room for that. AKMG. These two are triggering each other for this way of thinking. As I'm looking at this, they're pushing each other. They're pushing each other to, in the end, do something to hurt this child. Whether they're doing it in hopes to save him or not, they're pushing each other. They're pushing buttons one after another. On or about April 10th, so this is 2 days later, the sister, okay, made another Facebook post, quote, most of the children aren't even really children, at that, just in an avatar playing a character. So they truly are believing this is not just poor Cairo. This is most children. Most children are actually evil entities, according to these two women. They are malevolent entities that are just living in children's body. These two people should be nowhere near children at this point of the game. A day later, mom was released from jail. So that whole time that sister is writing all this stuff, mom is in jail, okay, for stealing, okay, shoplifting. On April 11th, mom made the following post. She gets out of jail. First thing she posts is, just got out of a jail mission. Yes, had to do some healing and killing. Had to do some healing and killing. I would love to know what was happening in that jail, who she was talking to. I would love it if the police were able to go back and talk to some of the people that might have been in jail at that time. Whether they said anything, who knows? But it would be really interesting to see. 1 day later, mom made the following updated status. So she changed her status on her Twitter account. So her Twitter account was at Miss Deja Day with a vanity name, Miss Deja Day. Yeah, Leanne, exactly. I mean, this is so Lori Vallow. So Lori Vallow. It's scary. And when you realize this is a second woman who's thinking on this type of area, well, third woman, how many other people are out there who think this way? How many other children are being put in danger because of these types of thoughts? And great question, Catlin. I was going to go check to see if they were up, and I did not quite get to that today. My suspicion is they've probably been pulled down, but they may not have been, actually. They really may not have been. So the next day, she goes onto Twitter. She updates her status saying, Father Vince Lampert. Not sure who that is, but good day, sir. I need to speak with you urgently. I have survived the death attacks from my 5-year-old throughout the 5 years he has been alive. I have been able to weaken his powers through our blood. I have his real name, and he is 100 years old. Need assistance. She saw her child as malevolent, creating death attacks on her from the moment he was born, all 5 years of his life. Okay, scares me when I hear her saying she was able to weaken his powers through our blood. What was happening there? Okay, what does she mean by our blood? She mentions her blood earlier, but now it's our blood. Okay, and then she takes it one step further. I know his real name. He's 100 years old. Okay. Yeah. From birth, and yeah, Leanne, atonement. Yeah. And next, I obtained a search warrant for AT&T for all historical cell phone data from the 2 cell phone numbers used by both Anderson and Coleman. I determined that these 2 numbers were used by them based on phone arrest records. Remember, they made phone calls and stuff, as well as an additional search warrant that they had obtained for Hilton Worldwide Holdings regarding their hotel reservations. Now, remember, at that time, after she was arrested for the speeding and all the other stuff, okay, speeding, and then police had to break into the car because they wouldn't let them in and all that. They stayed at a Hilton while mom was at jail. They were able to get back into the Hilton and say, okay, someone was staying here during these dates. We need the information about this. So that's where all that came in. Catlin, I have really wondered about this tremendously. I am so worried about that. I do remember comments when they found his body. They had said that his teeth were in good shape. He was slight, meaning he was on a thinner side, but they did not say emaciated or anything. So I'm hoping no. I'm hoping they did not. I'm hoping it was more he got sick with a stomach bug and they use that as, oh, he's weak now. Let's progress on trying to do whatever we have to do. And it all became too much. The same way there's stories of exorcisms, for example, even with the Catholic Church way back, where they weren't giving people drinks and stuff like that, and you ended up with dehydration and things on that level. So, very possible. So, let's see real quickly. So, on April 14th, just a couple days before, okay, they found his body. Between 4:30 p.m. and 5:15 p.m., the historical cell tower location data places the 2 of their phones in the area of Holder Road, where the suitcase was found. So I was just getting ready to say, hey guys, you remember what Holder Road was, but they went and they explained that one to us. Okay. April 14th. He was found again initially April 16th. So this is 2 days before he was found. Cell phone data shows both of their phones in the area where the suitcase was found. So most likely he died 13th, 14th, sometime around there. Okay, and they went and dumped his body, and the little guy sat out there in the suitcase in the woods without anyone nearby for 2 days. And video from that surveillance, remember the family who owned the property nearby and had surveillance, shows a vehicle coming into view on Holder Road, picking Indiana, at approximately 4:53 p.m. The vehicle appears to stop on Holder Road in the area where the suitcase was found with the unidentified child. The video does not show this vehicle continuing to the dead end area of Holder Road. So what they're saying there is, okay, they came up, they stopped short of the end of the road. They stopped there, probably disposed of the body and suitcase, and then turned and went back. They did not go all the way down to where the road ends and they had to turn around. Why did they not go to the end? Well, most likely they just stopped there, got rid of the body, and then turned around. And that's it. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Caitlin, perfect right there. If this is such a great thing that they can stand behind and all that, why the hell did they have to go and hide his body? Makes no sense whatsoever. They knew what they were doing was wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't hide it. Okay. And so it's just frustrating. Okay, how all this is going on there. On April 15th, so the next day, so they dumped his body, dumped the suitcase. Mom made the following update to her Facebook account. Quote, "This is a whole demon in a child body. Why you think she need a cigarette? Losing energy, huh? 64 years old in a child body. Was full of gifts and magical rights stronger than many of you because your frequency not high enough. Start asking spirit to reveal these things to you, hiding behind a body." Gang. Okay. First, this whole idea that they've got here that you need she needs a cigarette. It's like, oh my God, that was such hard work and everything. Oh, I need a cigarette now. That's actually what she's kind of saying here. If you really look at the way she's wording this stuff here, it's like, oh my gosh, this was so hard and everything. We had to do all this stuff, but we did it and all that. Now I need a cigarette. That's how I read it. Okay, a whole demon inside a child's body. Okay, 64 years old in a child body, which throws me because didn't they just, in another thing, said it was a 100-year-old child, 100-year-old demon? So, yeah. And then the gloating you see there, okay, was full of gifts and magical rights stronger than many of you, but I was able to deal with it. The two of us were able to deal with it. You guys could never have done it. It's a level of, I don't know them, I can't call them narcissists, but it's almost that level that, oh my gosh, look, we were able to handle this. None of you guys could have ever done anything like this. Okay. It's just sickening. This was her little boy. Okay. Emma, religion is magic and magic is religion and all this. And many people do. Okay. And sometimes there is a combination between the two. There's evil and there's good. There's definitely evil and good. Yeah, Leanne, that's a good point. It's like that rating system Chad had. Okay, was the age of the demon the equivalent to the rating in this case? Okay, it's just, and Catlin, I understand what you're saying. I'm the same way. I'm making comments right now very sarcastically when I make these comments. Please understand that, guys. Catlin, I'd love to hear from other family about what this little fellow's life was really like. There's a lot of things I think we're going to start having come to the forefront. What happened with the family life, how long was she with him, all sorts of things. There's a lot of stuff that I think we have to deal with, okay, that's still going to be coming as they find her, and then it goes to actual trial. It's a good point, Leanne. I don't know. Is there a whole group of people? I'm hoping by going in through their, computer accounts and stuff, they may have been able to track that down, because it would be nice to know that no one else is at risk at this point. Thank you, Catlin. I know every time I do that, go off like that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So on April 16th, so this was the day that everyone found out about the suitcase. Okay. The same day, police were alerted to the discovery of the suitcase and unidentified child. Mom's 2019 Dodge Challenger bearing Georgia plates was captured by Riverlink's camera driving south of I-65 over the bridge from Jefferson, Indiana to Louisville, Kentucky at approximately 8:16. So there's the connection of she was in the area leaving, okay, after it was found. A review of Mom's public Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts show pictures of Cairo, pictures of Cairo at approximately 5 years of age that match the pictures taken of the unidentified child during the autopsy. So connecting that it is Cairo. A review of Dawn Coleman's public Facebook, Instagram, and all shows pictures and videos of her, get this, with the same Las Vegas suitcase that the child was found in. So pictures of Mom and him at that age and the sibling, okay, pictures and video of her with a suitcase that looked exactly like the one Cairo was found in. On July 8th, with assistance from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Agent Dan Sims, we were able to obtain a birth certificate for the child victim listed under Georgia State File, whatever, okay. Child victim 1 was born at the Northside Hospital located in Atlanta, Georgia. Child victim's 1 birth date, redacted, and parents are listed as mother Dejan Ludi Anderson and father Vincent Charles Jr., Jordan Jr., with his birth date. Child victim 1 was 5 years old in April 2022. That is the affidavit as we see it. That's everything the police were able to pull together to say, this is that little guy. It was his mother who did not provide care, which led to death. I'm not sure what they're saying on that. Are they going to say, okay, that he died of this gastrointestinal, or was that just to reach that time? How did they know he had a gastrointestinal infection before? You can definitely tell electrolyte imbalances, but did they just reach by doing that? Oh, Catlin, who do they say is child victim 1? Why do they say? I think I'm not seeing anything here about multiple children. I think it's just to say that, to give it a number so people can't later on try to throw something out, okay, and say, oh, well, you know what, that could be any child out there. Okay, they just put a number to assign. I don't know. Maybe there is more out there that we don't know about right now. We all know that even with the affidavit, only you put out the information that you need to get the arrest. They may hold things back. They most likely will. It's for court papers. Okay, that's great to know. It's definitely things that it's just so frustrating to see these things. Now, where are they and all? Dawn, October 19th. So we are talking 1 week ago today. The sister one, okay, was arrested. Okay, she was arrested and is going to be transferred back to Washington County, Indiana, where she will face charges. Mom, Anderson, has not, let me see if I could pull this up so we can pull up pictures. Let me pull them backwards. Mom here, who is here on the left-hand side, has not been found yet. initially believed that she could still be in the Echo Park area of LA. It's possible she's there. Probable that's where she was initially. At some point, she's going to run, whether she has already ran or will be running. And at that point, you look at this, these two people, they traveled. You had Indiana, you had Georgia, you had, I think I read Kentucky or something at one point, I forget. You had a lot of places being mentioned. Okay, she's known, couple things with her. She is known to travel to Indiana, Houston, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Vegas. So these, they know how to get around. I also suspect she knows how to make herself look different. Okay, I'm not sure if her hair is short now or long now. But I mean, look at this. In each of these pictures here, she looks different. Okay, so very, very possible she's going to look different. Does she color her hair? Does she cut it short if it's long? If it's long, okay. If it's short, does she add extensions? A lot of potentials here. And we just got to make sure we get them home. Okay, get them arrested so we can, okay, it's stuff that has to happen because we've got to get these kids. He needs justice. He lost his life. Oh, hell yeah, Nicole, you're right. Dawn looks pretty freaking intimidating. I agree with you on that. My gut is saying, and yes, I did have some people send me some information on their backgrounds. Well, not on Dawn's yet, but I suspect there's quite a few visits to jail in the past. My gut's saying that. I may be wrong. May very well be wrong. That's always possible, but she does look intimidating. These two were feeding each other sickness, basically. Okay, if you go back, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, let me go back to the message from Dad. Okay, the two of them, Mom and Dad, were having custody issues initially. Okay, here, let me go through this again. Okay, it's October 25th birthday, and I just know. Okay, me and my family have spent the past 3 years looking for the two of them. Okay, she took him away at the beginning of our custody battle in 2017. So he has not seen his little boy since 2017. My gut is saying that picture that you're looking at right there to the right may be one of the last pictures he has of him and his little boy. Because if you're talking 2017 to now, yeah, it's been that long. Okay. She threatened to call the police on me for coming to pick him up on an agreed upon weekend. She never showed up in court. And it's killing me because that weekend is the last time I saw my baby boy. Okay, I swear y'all don't. There's a lot going on there. I think we'll get more and more information. If there's one thing I could ever tell anyone, if someone disappears with your child, report it. Report it. That way, we never have a child who is, they could get DNA on file. They can look at those things. So we don't have a message like this one on the right where they had to write this national thing out saying, do you know me? And tell the whole story. I love the name Cairo. I loved that name. Okay. But yeah, it's sad to see those things. I don't think I will ever be able to to walk through Vegas again and look, because you see these suitcases everywhere. That suitcase is everywhere. And also, he deserves justice. This little guy deserves justice. I'm looking through my notes to see if I found of anything else. I think I got most of it out of that one area. I suspect we're going to get more information over the next couple days. A lot more is going to come out. Family members are going to start talking. And And if there's updates, I'm going to be right here giving them to you. This case, I'll never forget. It broke while I was trying to find someone to cover for Missing Mondays. And I saw it and I was like, how am I going to cover this? Because I'd never covered someone that they didn't know who it was. It was the first time. And it just looking at this, I'm happy he has his name. I'm happy he has his name. But now you see what his life was like. How was he treated? Okay. Was he shown love? Things like that. He deserves justice now. So what we need from you guys, I'm going to try to start working on, if not tonight, tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to get a poster together for her because we've got to find her. But there's posters out, there's pictures out. I'm really hoping I wake up in the morning and she's found. Okay, but yeah, no, oh gosh, this is wild. This is wild. And so, yeah, I love that name. It's a really interesting name. I had never heard the name Cairo before. I had never heard that name before, and I really liked it. So if you guys can help me with sharing out that story about them, and if I hear any more updates, okay, everyone hears. I mean, like I said, Burden did an amazing live earlier today talking about it. I think Sleuth is going to talk about it some tomorrow. True Crime Karen's, I think, is going to talk about it tomorrow. A lot of people are, okay, as all this starts popping up, okay, we're going to get justice for this little guy. So thank you all so much. If he's still going live, please head over to Sirens and check out his heavy drama things. What he does is he picks up song lyrics, book words, movie speeches, things like that, and he does them in a totally inflated, melodramatic way, and it is funny to watch. It is really funny to watch. So please go join him. Love all of you guys, and I will see you later. Wrigley wants to say good night. You want to say good night, little boy? Yes, with your little belly band. So thanks, Leanne, and thank you, Emma. Thank you, Emma. And thank you, Nicole and Catlin and everyone else further up here. I know a lot of people had to go to sleep because it is late. So it is even 7:15 here. So love you all. Aloha. Oh, there's Princess Megan. Love you, my dear. So aloha, mahalo. Okay, truly, guys, you guys make a huge difference every time you share. Thank you so much. So love you and talk to you later.